Welcome, welcome, y'all. I hope y'all had a beautiful Wednesday. We're going to get it cracking. I came on a little early to give y'all some time. Hey, Bree. Hey, Beyonce. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Simone. We got Kadia. We got Keisha in the house.
Legend 6.
It is almost 7 o'clock. Hey, it is almost 7 o'clock. We on episode number 2.
Hey, Tay.
Episode up. I was about to start freestyling for y'all. Crystal, we gonna freestyle for him?
Legend 6.
You
I
gonna
did
drop
my
some
shout out.
bars?
No, I ain't got no bars today.
Hey, we episode number 2. Come on, we on episode number 2. Hey, y'all, I'm excited. Don't mind me. Don't mind me, y'all. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? We in the ladies' lounge. Woo! It is Wednesday. Y'all got y'all drinks? What y'all drinking on? Put it in the chat. What y'all drinking on? We giving some more people some time to get on, to join us. Join us, join us. Welcome, welcome. Some people having some issues. I'm with you, Kadia. I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh, we got peach wine. We got peach wine, sipping water. All right, we got 2 for water, 1 peach wine. I'm not exotic tonight, y'all. I ain't exotic tonight. I got my water too. Crystal, what you sipping on? Okay, we got coconut water. All right. Yes, the live is open for other people to join. Please share the live. Share, share, share. We here. We in the ladies' lounge. Share it with everyone. Lauren, you made it. Woo, woo. Shout out, shout out. Okay, Ozzy, you on the vanilla crown and coke. Come on, let's go. Yeah, if they're not on my Facebook, you still could share the live. Share, share, share. We got a good topic tonight. Great. Yes, honey, Bubby, let's go. Come on, y'all. I'm excited. We're gonna give y'all a few more moments. Grab your drinks if you haven't grabbed them yet. Come on in, get comfortable. I'm excited because my people that was having issues last time, they made it. Yes. I see you. I see you, Bubby. Y'all feeling all right? How y'all feeling? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know how y'all feeling. Not listen, Linda. It's okay, but you're here. You're here. And we love that. We love that. So y'all excited about tonight's topic? I am. I'm real, real, real excited. We gonna talk about it. We gonna. All right. Simone says she's feeling great. Is that because it is peach wine? If so, drop it in the chat to let us know. No gatekeeping here. Because
At
one
Butler
thing we gonna
Toyota
do
of
is we gonna
Jacksonville,
drink.
you get the
We
premier.
drinking in here. So please share. I see we had some vanilla and coke. We got some peach wine. Bubby says she all good over here. I'm great as well, sipping on my water. I'm really excited for tonight's topic. I know y'all excited. Y'all ready to get into it? And please, please, y'all talk to us in the chat. Um, we love to hear what you have to say, as well as we will be sharing ourselves. Just some housekeeping rules. We gonna keep it. We gonna keep it a buck, right? As both of us are sharing our experiences with you all, we do ask that the respect. We got to talk about respect, right? We all adults up in here, up in the ladies' lounge. So as much as the ladies' lounge will respect you, we ask the same in return, even in our chat. We just here to have a good time. We just here to have fun. Let's get into it without further ado, okay? Because I'm excited. I don't know about you. Anywho, um, again, welcome to the ladies' lounge. Ladies, gentlemen, grab your drinks of choice, get comfortable, and let's get into it. Welcome to the Ladies Lounge, evolving women through conversation. Tonight's topic, the best friend blueprint. And what better discussion to have this with than to have my own best friend come on and chop it up with us in the Ladies Lounge. Let me just introduce her. And before I do, let me just say I'm so excited, y'all, because to get her on here, hands down, she didn't even hesitate. My girl was like, "Let's go, we in here." So let me look, new to some, familiar to others. We have the CEO and founder of No Label Society on. We got Chris Butter in the building, y'all. And I'm talking about this has been over 20 years of friendship right here, right? Some people in the chat, been rocking with us too, since we was little. Okay, we out here grown with kids and responsibilities, paying bills. Just we just out here doing our thing. So I'm so excited to just have her on. So welcome to the Ladies Lounge, Chris Butter.
Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing?
She too smooth, okay? She too smooth for me. So I know I asked earlier, I don't know if if everybody was able to see, but friendship, that's what we're here to talk about, right? What they say, Ozzy know their way, elementary. That's what I'm talking about. We go back, okay? We go back, and I love it. So we here to talk about friendship. What the song say? Friends. How many of us have them? Friends. But we just here to share some nuggets of just the growth of our friendship. We here to just share some knowledge, share some tips. Again, as always in the ladies lounge, we hope that you leave with something, right? Besides your drink. Hello. That's what we here for. Okay, Ozzy, you ain't gotta go out and talk about HD Perry days, because so now he going back. He going back to look. We got kids older than HD Perry age. But I love it. I love it. So let's talk about it. That's what we're here to do. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about friendship. So I think it's really important to understand the value of a friend, right? We call each other friends. We use that friend word too loosely sometimes. And then we wind up getting hurt. We ain't even this person friend no more, So let me ask you, what does a friend, what does friendship mean to Chris Butter, C Butter?
You know how I am too. I'm a very private person, which further means that I don't have a lot of people in my life like that I call friends. So, friend is an intimacy word for me. Because you do have to share your life with this person that you call your friend. I would expect that you would. So when I think about friendship, I think about intimacy. I think about family. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about blood and family.
Correct.
I'm talking about village. You know what I mean by that.
Right.
That type of family.
Right.
The people that are close knit to you. The people that when you're going through a tough time, you don't have to call on them. They're just there. You know what I mean? So when it comes to friendship, the first word that I could think about is intimacy. That's what it means to me, intimacy.
Now for us who may not know, because some of us may first of all, shout out to the brand, No Label Society. Shouts out one time. for us that, may be a little ignorant to when you say intimacy, because I may be relating that to now we're talking about romance. You know what I'm saying? So what is
Mhm.
intimacy when you say that in a friendship? What does that mean? Because I ain't kissing my friends.
No, I mean, we're talking about sharing our lives, right? You don't share your life.
Mhm.
I don't share my life with everybody. I mean, people who do know me, I can't really see who's on here right now, but people who do know me know that I'm very private.
Right.
So when it comes to my friendships, that's where I'm intimate as far as sharing my world, as far as, and say romantically intimate. I said intimate.
Okay.
So as far as just sharing my world with that person, being able to be vulnerable with that person, being able
Okay.
to, you know, share my space with that person, because you know how I feel about my space.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So that's why intimacy is the first word, because it's so, that's a near and dear thing. You're talking
Mhm.
about trusting people in times when it's hard. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Being vulnerable.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's, that's a, friendship is supposed to be a safe space.
Correct.
So the only way that I could think about it being my safe space is if I'm okay with being intimate with you,
Okay.
sharing my world, me caring about what you have going on. You know what I'm saying? You know how we are.
Right.
We've been best
Right.
friends since the 6th grade.
Right. So speaking
We 30.
speaking of that,
Oh
since
my
you
hell.
since you took it back, since you took it back, right? Okay, we already done
Yeah.
shout out our school. We've been friends since 6th grade.
Mhm.
We 30, 36. She'll be 37, y'all. She older than me.
I'm not
Um,
37 yet. Wait,
she older than me,
September is
y'all.
not here.
She be 37 this year. But anyway, she older than me.
Oh
Just
God.
want to put that out there. Uh, so when you bring up, because I asked this question on Facebook. A lot of people have been friends, for 40 plus years. We talking about 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Well, I think 30 plus years, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna go too
Yeah.
deep in numbers.
Yeah.
However,
Almost.
but being that young and how does one even know? You get what I'm saying? I think that we was just like, it was cute, like, you know what I'm saying. Well, I let me speak for me, I ain't gonna speak for you. I know for me, I was just like, the girly girls, and all little girls grow up and they're like, oh, I'm my best friend, and y'all bopping around the school together, and things like that. I don't think at a young age that you really truly understand the title of a friendship and what comes with that. I know for me, I knew what it
Yeah.
was to call somebody, and we using air quotes, your friend. But in 6th grade, you know what I'm saying? I'm just coming into middle school. That's again that word, pivotal time of your life.
Yeah.
So how do we even know? How did you think that, for you, what was your experience?
I don't think that we necessarily really know at that time, right?
Mhm.
Um, because you have to think about it, like you said, we're in school and we're like, oh, that's my best friend. You know what I mean? We're still trying to find ourselves, which is why I think that even, I don't know other people's friendships, but our friendships went through the ups and downs. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because of the fact that we were changing as people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't think that we necessarily knew. What I do think that we did that helped us was we held on to it. And we also had parents who loved each other.
Mm.
So you got to think about that too. Your mama's my mama and my mama's your mama,
Correct.
and daddy and vice versa.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that also helped to keep that knit there too, because our friendship was important to them, if that makes any sense.
I do. I do agree with that.
Um, so we did have technically a good foundation. They saw something there for the both of us that they continued to nurture until we got of age and we had to do it on our own.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm gonna just stop here for a moment. Everybody that is on, please
Oh,
share the live, share. Tell a friend. We talk about friendship. Tell a friend and know a friend and know a friend and bring a friend. And we all in here just, gonna share our experience and learn from each other. I do see in our chat, that
yeah.
growth and maturity, Kadia shouts out growth and maturity helped her determine. Keisha said she had at least 3 to 4 different best friends in middle school. We were young and friendly. I do agree with that. Now let me tell y'all. Okay, let me stop right there.
Okay, I will.
Let's pause. No, let's pause right there. I wasn't that friend. Okay, Chris Butter. She couldn't have no other best friends. I was very, very, very stingy.
Territorial.
I didn't believe at that time. Probably until now, I ain't even gonna say that was the start. I just became, open within my 30s, to be honest with you, with sharing her as a best friend. So for me, I wasn't really into having more than one best friend. And then two, that's all I knew. Crystal is up. I know that. But she was my only friend since 6th grade who, like we talked about the ups and downs, traveled with me through life. I didn't give that space to anybody. She wasn't allowed to give that space to anybody. You heard what I said? She wasn't allowed. So yeah, I was telling her what to do. And I used to have attitudes. She'll tell you. I used to have straight up attitudes like, girl, why is this person
Crazy.
even betraying? Like
You're crazy.
they don't even use the term best friend. What do you mean? What do you mean? But my thing is like when we talk about, the friendship word and how do you even know? Like, how do you know when you chose your best friend versus, you know what I'm saying? Like, out of your close friends. Because, of course, we still have close friends, but how do you know when you chose that one who is who's solid? Like, everybody don't make the cut. You get what I'm saying?
You know I'm committed, Brittany. You know how I feel about commitment. So when we said we were best friends, I never let go of that word, if that makes any sense. So I took it with me through life. So that meant at some point that I was going to have to love you when it was tough. I was going to have to love you when you hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I was going to have to love you through those things. So I think what made it different, and from what I experienced with my other friends when it came to certain things, I think I knew that you were my best friend when I gave you as much grace as I gave you with a lot of things, if that makes sense. When I loved you through those tough times, you know what I'm saying?
And let me,
And vice
because
versa.
we keep it real in the ladies' lounge. So
Yeah.
as I stated from the beginning, I'm here to share my journey from where I was, the person that I was, to who, the woman that I am today. So when she talked about this grace, I'm here to put myself out there. Yes, and she's very committed. She's very loyal. Let me tell you something. I was not the best friend. Not that I didn't have the title of a best friend, but across the board, when it comes to friendships, I wasn't the best. You know what I'm saying? Like I struggled because I wasn't valuing people. I thought that they were just gonna be here forever. I could just treat them like whatever. Because that's my friend. Whatever, we don't care about her. That's just my friend. We have that expectation that that's your friend. However, going back to that word, the intimacy, of a friendship, you got to be reassuring. As I shared with you all, when you sit down and you go through your journey and you understand who you are as a person, you can love differently. Now, this will tell you, we joke about it, but it was dead serious. I was a mean girl. Like, I think, who was that? Lindsay Lohan that was in.
Yeah. Well, no, you was the
Crystal
other
tell
girl
me
though.
that. Like, I literally was a mean girl. And I embrace it now. I stand in my truth. Like, that's who I was, ain't who I am today. But I also I mocked what I saw, right? So the women in my life, I saw how they handled their friendship. And a lot of people would gossip, behind their friends' back, um, wasn't really showing up for them. So a lot of these bad habits I took on. And I displayed that throughout my friendships, and especially with my best friend. So for me, for her to still be here today, and we even chopping it up in front of y'all right now, like when she say that grace, y'all, I don't even have that much patience. I do now. But I'm very grateful for her being that type of person because now it helps mold me. You know what I'm saying? When you go through your journey and you're like, I understand who I am as a person. Wow, and you're looking at the people who's standing around because I got some heavy hitters. I don't call everybody a friend, let alone you talk about my best friend. I got some heavy hitters in my corner. And when you value those heavy hitters, and you don't do them wrong, that's the love, that's the dedication, that's the commitment. I'm talking about this the person who done seen me ugly cry, right? She went through it with losing my dad 4 years ago. Like she when I found out she was in my driveway, literally she opened the front door, she opened her car door. I couldn't even say nothing. She looked me in my eyes and I blacked out in her arms. You know what I'm saying? So from going to something traumatic like that to the birth of my son, which is she is, of that's his Gotti, of course. Like
My baby.
transitioning from middle school, when you talk about, hey, this is my friend. I didn't think that that was something that would carry on almost 30 years later. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy and interesting how life works. Like we went through a lot. So I would sit when I was doing my healing. I sat and I shared this with her. So this ain't nothing new. Like I sat with owning how I was as a person, like how I had to take accountability, right? The word that a lot of us we don't want to take in is that accountability. And I was like, dang, I was a horrible person. That ain't me. That ain't who I
You
want to portray. And then I'm looking around like, but who's still here with me? Because these are people I'm finna love up on. And then I'm going to do right by all the new people that come into my life that God has blessed me with. You know what I'm saying? Like when you lose a lot, not just we're talking about not just people, but the materialistic things, you want to change that. So my dog here she used to drop so much knowledge. And at the time I wasn't in a space to take it in. She used to be, you talking about elevation, this used to be another altitude. I was just like, okay, great, whatever. Roll my eyes, didn't care. Um, but now I can sit here and I value our conversation because again, I'm going to say this throughout this show. I am so grateful to have her here, not just a part of my life, but in the ladies' lounge. Because y'all, when I say she is very private, so for her to open up, let you in a little bit about our relationship and then just how she values friendship. Like I am forever grateful for this opportunity. So that just goes to show you how how we rock. Now we know, and this was a question that I thought about right on my journey. I'm like I'm taking in everything of how I am, how I was as a friend to you, to other people in the past, and how this friend I want to be to the people coming up. How do you know when you're being a good friend?
uh when you can look in the mirror and be okay with what you're seeing. And I don't know how to chop that down anymore for any if people don't understand what I'm saying. But when you do wrong, I'm pretty sure when you look at yourself, if you have a conscious, if you're consciously elevated and you care about people, if you can look in the mirror and be like, I feel good with how I treat the people in my life, then you're good. So that's a reflection of you, because if you do better for others, then you'll do better for yourself. I believe that highly. So if I go around treating you well, treating my other friends well, treating my mom well, treating my wife well, my kids well, it's a reflection of me, right? So what I give out is what I get back. So I feel like when you're a good person.
Mm.
The titles come after that, like I
Mm.
just named. Being a good, and I'm not saying that we don't fall short, because I don't want people to feel like I strive for perfection, because if you know me, you know that I love not being perfect. It's
Right.
one of the things that make me, you know what I mean? I love not being perfect. But being a good person, I know that I am. I know that if I was to leave this world today, I know that I have touched many lives because of what I give out and what I'm getting back.
Right. Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
And I think that goes into when you say what you're putting out and you're getting back, that's pouring into each other. Because I do think
Exactly.
that, you learn from your friendship, right? Like what
Yes.
you just said, of course, if I have a friend that's giving that to me and I know that I value this person, now I'm gonna do better. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's no different than when we are in our relationships. I would pray that when you have a partner, you know what I'm saying, that is showing you, that's loving on you, you want to reciprocate the same thing. And it's no
Absolutely.
different than with our friends. I think it's healthy that we tell each other, I love you. We say it differently. It looks different because that's just how our relationship flow. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think
Yeah.
that and it goes back to just throwing that word friendship too loosely. You think that because this person just showed up to you in that moment, you know what I'm saying? Like, the lifetime seasons and reasons. People may
Mm-hmm.
just be here for just that moment. But when you have somebody who's been rocking with you, you treat them differently. Whether you give that title of the best friend, because you could have close friends, and maybe some people are not, onto the title thing of saying, oh, that's my best friend, because they want to love up on everybody.
Yeah.
That's okay too. I do think for me, like knowing that I'm a good friend. Number one is this, this here again with you even sitting on the podcast, or I have good friendships, with people that's in the chat. It's the support. You get what I'm saying? It's you gonna support me regardless and hold me accountable. Not just, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to it's easy for us to do the easy stuff, right? Oh, I'm gonna love on you. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna share this live. By the way, everybody share this live. I love y'all. You know, stuff like that. Oh, hey, my dog came out with she got her no label society.
Under construction.
But we still here, we rocking and rolling, right? Um, but what about the hard times in the friendship? And I
I feel
think like
like
when we lose a lot of our friendships, when it's time to talk about the hard time, because some people don't even want to talk about that. We run from it. But for me, I think that's what solidified our relationship. Because you you called me out.
I'm big on communication. You know that. I'm big on communicate. I've always been big on communication. People who know me. I feel like I've had situations where I did not communicate, and I know that maybe I needed to be the bigger person and communicate, and those friendships fell to the wayside. Friendships that I cared about. You know what I mean? But communication is the biggest key when it's hard. People feel like having a conversation is having confrontation, and
Mm,
that's not what it is, right? I should be able to come to you as someone who loves and cares about you, and me assuming that you love and care about me the same way. I should be able to come to you and have a conversation with you.
right.
Like I tell you, only way that communication works is if it's effective. And the only way that it's effective is if I come to you and I'm talking to you and you're listening to understand and not to respond.
Ooh.
We get so caught up in what our intentions were versus how somebody took it.
Right.
So I think we get stuck at the part where we're trying to defend ourselves versus hearing our friend, the person with the problem, because you don't have the problem. Hearing our friend out on the situation to be able to say, you know what, I see how you could have taken it that way. My apologies. That wasn't my
Right.
intent.
Ooh, but can we sit in that?
Acknowledging.
And I'm
Okay,
sorry, can we sit in that for
go.
a moment? Let's
Yeah.
stop right there. The apology. Y'all in the chat. How many of y'all have an issue with apologizing to your friend? Just drop it in the chat for us. I think that right there is such a bold statement because we don't apologize. Some of us don't even apologize to our own selves, let alone, like you just said, if I'm looking in the mirror and I know I have done right by you in front of your face, and because let's talk about it now, because your friendship, the relationship really matters when you're not in front of that person. Like the integrity, the values, the morals. Like if I'm still kicking it and being honest with you in person, then I should still carry that on. But now when something goes wrong, if I've hurt your feelings, I think it was Lauren said it in the chat, we should be able to talk about anything under the sun. But when it comes to something that affects you, that I have done, I'm sorry. That's not how I meant it. But that also is going back to authentically being yourself. So I just want to touch on that because a lot of us have that issue with apologizing. I did not apologize, y'all. I didn't apologize. I ain't take no accountability. I was so bad, like I will put it. Crystal used to try to talk to me, and I will reverse it back on her. Be like, they ain't got nothing bad. What are you talking about? And that was so unhealthy because not only is she displaying what I need, what God has placed, because God see I needed this woman here. So I wasn't taking accountability, I wasn't valuing it. It was just you just take advantage. That's your friend. That's easy for us to do in our relationships. Again, whether it's marriage, whether it's your father, a mother, you take advantage of those people who you think are going to be here. And what is the main thing that we all always say? Life is too short. Y'all see it on the news. You know what I'm saying? Like you see it on social media news, whether you check your local news, people are dying every day. Ain't nobody wake up. Somebody thought they was gonna go check their Facebook and they ain't here. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it was like I value my friends, I value the support. And I want to take a moment to just shout out the chat, because there's some good conversations and some they making some valid points, in our chat. So if we could take a moment, I love what Simone said. It's never about some people not knowing how to communicate their feelings. That's heavy because it still goes back to me as a person, authentically being me, right? I have to know how I feel. I have to know that, hey, this feeling is not okay. And the one person that I should be able to talk to, because we could chop it up about anything else, I should be able to come to you and say, I'm not feeling okay. Whether it's mentally, whether it's something that you did to me, especially mentally. You know what I'm saying? We should have those conversations, but especially if it's you did something to directly to me, I should be able to say, hey, but no, I'm keeping it PG on here because this ain't really how we talk to each other. So we really trying to keep it PG for y'all and really not let y'all know, like, how we really get down just for the sake of,
I mean,
our mamas make
that's a good thing. I mean, I guess it's a good point. I feel like though when we're friends and you're able to talk to me about your feelings about your dude or your mom or your other friends or things like that, I feel that if that's the type of friendship we have and you're able to express that, when I come to you saying to me I don't know how to express my feelings, I might not necessarily take that okay. Because if we can sit for hours and I can use my time with you for hours and talk about all the other things you have going on and all the feelings and emotions that you have behind those things, when it comes to me, I expect the same in return.
Absolutely.
Again, I'm the
Absolutely.
person that gives out what I want back. So you naturally, you wouldn't be my friend if you wouldn't be in my intimate space. Remember where we talked about intimacy,
Right.
because intimacy has to do with feelings as well, right? So
Right.
you wouldn't be a friend because me and you don't talk about things that have to do with feelings or emotions or those stuff. You feel me? Because if I can come to you and tell you what my friend did or what my mom did, and you can listen to me express and you can have opinions about it or feelings about it, I feel like you should be able to do the same in our friendship.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And I wanted to
So
shout out Lauren. Thank you for being vulnerable. She lost her best friend in 2015, and she said our friendship taught me what to do and not to do because they're gone now and I can't go back. So now I make sure I'm my best self for my newer best friend. Life lessons don't come easy, but they come at the right time. Now you and I
ooh,
always
that's
have this
scary.
conversation about when it's
Whoa,
our time.
right. Wow.
It's
My
we all know.
condolences to you.
Yeah, for real. And we all know that that's tough, right? You don't want
Yeah.
to see none of your loved ones, but me and Chris, as a matter of fact, we just had this conversation before getting on this live. You know, when it comes to when it's our time, I mean, it is inevitable. Only thing I have to say with that is, you know, I lost a parent and I would walk around. I would tell Crystal too sometimes, like, I don't even know what I would do if I lose a parent. And here I am 4 years later, sitting here talking to y'all, sharing my life experiences. So you just never know. But I love that she took from you know, she took the lesson in that was meant for her. And like she said, so I could be the best version of myself for my new best friend. Because I've learned those lessons.
That's tough though. That's
That
really tough. Um,
is.
I would say
That
that
is.
we were talking about that, just losing people that are close to you, you know, that you do share that intimate relationship with. It's definitely, again, my condolences to you, because I don't know what I would do if
For
something happened
sure.
to Brittany.
For sure.
So, um, you know, I'm
For
happy that
sure.
you're able to find some type of, you know, positivity in, you know, something that probably was a very uh, maybe even traumatic experience. I
I'm
feel
getting
like that
teary
I talk
eyed.
to
Just
Brittany damn near every day. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean about intimacy and your friends. And
right.
not saying that you don't have friends that you don't talk to for a while and y'all jump back in. But that's not me and Britt's relationship. That's not
Yeah.
the type of relationship we have. We are, if we go 3 days without talking to each other, we're like, okay, what's going on? You know
Girl,
what I'm
I have a
saying?
whole
That's
attitude. I have a whole attitude.
right.
Because
But you know, life be
why you
life
ain't call
in,
me?
but you know, life be life in, but it's not normal for us. You know, shout out Keisha. Um, you
So
know,
I like, you know, taking it back to the chat. I like Robin. You know, Robin says sometimes I don't know how to feel about something and I have to sit with it and figure it out.
I like that, Robin.
Right.
I like that. I think Brittany would tell you I've always been like this, so I'm just kind of like, you know, I always know how I feel. And I think it's because and if people who know me on here feel like I don't, well, people who don't know me but know me think that they know that I have feelings, but I'm not a very emotional person.
No.
You look at Brittany. So you
Ooh.
would look at me and probably assume that I don't care about a lot of things, but I do. So I feel like from a very young age, I've always kind of been intact with how I feel. Like I've always known how I feel. And I've just not been emotional about it. And when you say, you know, sometimes you have to sit with how you feel, I can understand that. But Brittany knows that as soon as a situation comes up or someone's talking to me, my brain just, I'm already 50 million places. I already know how I feel. You know what I mean? And I think I've just kind of always been like that. So that is also something that I had to learn to do. Respect people who don't necessarily know how to express themselves in that moment, right? Because Britt and I have had those type of situations. And I've had to learn too on my end. Shut up. I've had to learn too on my end
Oh my
because
God.
I'm real rough with her.
Let me tell y'all. So I'm happy she said this. Y'all heard it here on live. Everybody heard she was rough with me. So let me tell y'all, because I was gonna say, I'm the emotional one out of this
Yeah.
out of our duo, okay? Because it's actually more than us, more than one of us. But tonight, out of our duo, I'm the more emotional one, and I would cry about everything. And Crystal would be like, "Brittany, why the hell? That's what you're worried about? That's it?" And I used to feel like she wasn't hearing me. Like, my God, can I get my feelings out? Like, I feel some type of way. So then it made me shut down in the beginning because I felt like she didn't care. But I also had to learn, I had to learn my best friend. It wasn't that she didn't care. She did care. She didn't want to see me hurt. However, we ain't gonna linger in that. That's one thing she don't believe in. We're not gonna linger there. What's the solution? How do we get past this? With certain things, I'm not gonna say she was very, very, very understanding when it came to my dad passing, and just other life
There's certain
experiences.
things, that I feel like are just life threatening, is how I would put it. There's some things that I feel like are just, Brittany, come on. Come the, you know what, on, please.
Oh, God.
But I had to learn that too. So I, just like how she had
big
to,
baby.
just like how she had to compromise in this relationship, so did I, because I'm not an emotional person. So when it comes to certain things, I'm quick to kind of like chop it. And with her, I had to learn as well that may not work for her at the time. You know what I mean? And maybe the space that she was in, it definitely didn't work as well. So I did have a lot of conversations with Britt where it would be a dead end because she was overly emotional and I wasn't emotional enough. You know what I mean? And they kind of had dead end. They kind of had dead end conversations. But let me tell you something that I do love about our relationship is the fact that,
y'all finna hear this? Y'all get y'all drinks. We finna hear something. What to say?
girl, shut up. You see, you about to have me cursing on this shit. Look,
what you love about our relationship? Y'all here to let us know.
Shut up. I love the fact that we always bounce back, and that lets me know the value that you have for me. And the reason why I'm using just you is because Brittany did not value a lot of things. And it's not that she didn't care, but it's kind of like what she said, it's there, it'll always be there. So how she looked at it is almost as if she was entitled to the things that she had around her and the people around her, right? So when
not
we
too much
would
calling
go,
me out now, not too much. Nah.
Shut the
What the part that
girl
you love me? Or
I'm getting there. That's why it's important.
My drink
The
almost
fact
gone.
that when her and I go through things, and when Brittany mad, she be big mad. But the fact that when her
extra,
and I go,
I told y'all I'm extra.
When we go,
look, they talk about call me out, call me out. You got some people on your side,
right? But when we go through things, she has always found her way back. She has always wanted to come back and talk about it from someone who doesn't value things, right? Because Brittany will let people go. When you talk about cut that off in like 2 seconds, she had no problem cutting people off. Absolutely no problem. You made the cut. Okay.
It did.
Really no problem, cutting people off. So the fact that she would come back and we would regroup and we would try again and we would try again and we would try again, that's how I knew, because our friendship was tested so many times, but her and I always
So
made
many
the
times.
decision.
Yeah. So
And
many
it's
times.
because, can I say this, guys? And this is fair in the chat. We were children when we got
Correct.
this friendship. You understand?
Yep.
And then now we're
Yep.
growing and we're changing. We're having kids, and there's
Right.
different things
Right.
happening. We're having relationships, romantic relationships. So now we're investing time in those things. So a lot of changes did happen. But I will say this, during those changes, Britt and I have always been together during those changes. So even those tough times, those good times, I even think about when she was having Keandre, big and pregnant at fam. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax.
Big.
Relax. You were big. Big and pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about even
Big.
those
That's what she
times,
said. Big.
being able to be there for her. We were away from our parents. She was pregnant. We were up at school. And imagine, we're at the same college together. We actually experienced living together.
We had fam.
We had a lot of, you know what I'm saying? We
grew up together. Like, what I mean,
we grew
what
up
you're
together.
saying is we grew up together. We did.
Right. So
we did.
To be here in our friendship where we are now, you guys have to understand how comfortable it is for the both of us, for her to, even if she's able, not saying that we have these situations now, but she can call me and be like, yo, girl, I ain't like the way you da 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 da. And I don't take it as anything. And we actually can have a conversation and it be nothing. Like, that's the conversation we had. It's hashed out. We talking about something else. We talking about the kids, or are we going to be, going planning trips? Like, we're not stuck there. I don't believe in living there. I feel like when you love people, you talk about it, you find the resolution, and you move on.
Now, I do believe, like, when you say we grew up together, it taught me how to love unconditionally. That was a part of, that was a part of that for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, you stood there by my side regardless, right? You have people nowadays who will call you your friend and be so quick to walk away.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's no conversation. It's like, even if I did make you feel some type of way, why did you? So then now I'm questioning our relationship. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not where it's at.
You know what's so crazy? You say that, and again, I'm not a personal person, but I had a friendship that I had a long time ago, and it was a pretty good friendship. And this friendship literally ended over like foolishness, and what I consider foolishness. It's a friendship that I value, but I realized that maybe I wasn't of value to that person because of the way that it ended. I'm a friend that I'm gonna show up for you. But you know how I am with energy. I'm not gonna go anywhere if I'm not feeling. And that it is what it is. And if you can't respect that, then me and you can't be friends. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think, because when you say you show up, because you do show up. Do you think in our relationship, not just us, and you all can answer in the chat too, do you think that we put our friends through tests to even see if they'll show up for us?
I feel like if you testing people, you playing games.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
Like you talked about being authentic. If you got to test people, that means you're playing games. Maybe they shouldn't even be around you if you feel like you got to test them.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I do know that sometimes I'm very strategic within my friendships because maybe I might be feeling some type of vulnerability in our friendship and I'm not too sure. And because they're feelings and they're like buttholes, everybody has them. You kind of have to make sure that how you're feeling, you're not projecting on that person, and that's not where they're coming from. So that's another thing. You know how I get deep in start to,
Yep.
but I feel like testing your friends should not be a thing. So I'll give
Okay.
an example. I know a lot of people get real hype. Oh, it's my birthday. You better show up and da 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 da. I'm that friend. If I ain't feeling it, I'm not showing up. Now, there's certain people that I'm going to automatically just be there.
Right.
When I say that, you
Right.
know who I'm talking about. My godchild, the children. You know what I'm saying? Those are, my son, my daughter. Those are
Right.
people, Keisha's kids. You know what I'm saying? Those are people that I'm willing to show up for. My friends' kids. But I'm the
Correct.
type of
Correct.
person, a vibe is a vibe. And my
Correct.
mom told me, I don't know how it is, the audience, but I come from a Jamaican background. My
Girl, we
mom
talk. We
always,
talk here in the ladies' lounge, so keep it real. Keep
okay,
it a buck. Keep it
my
a buck.
mom always told me that if I'm not comfortable, or if my spirit says, hey, no, you're not going out tonight, or if you're delayed, you need to chill. You know what I mean? I said all of that to say I lost a friendship over a birthday party. That's what I said that to say. Now
I got
imagine me showing up for you in every other part of your life, but I can't make it to this birthday party.
you. Is that really the test of our friendship now? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Now let me give you one better. Because I understood how much it affected her, I adjusted my schedule
mm-hmm.
to surprise her to show up. But she did
Okay.
so many other things that it ended the friendship. So it let me
Oh,
know. That's why I feel comfortable with the fact that it ended, because I knew what I was capable of doing, and I know the sacrifice that I was about to make.
yeah.
But however, you didn't know it because you didn't give me enough grace to find out.
Wow.
So I show up for you everywhere else in your life, but this one time you feel like I'm not going to make it, and you throw me to the wayside.
But that's why I feel like, sometimes we put too much expectations on our friends.
Ah,
Can I say
uh,
that?
yeah,
Can I say that? You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Because
You
you know
know
what I'm
that
saying?
I'm a
Like if
low
I'm in,
maintenance friend. Low maintenance. Let everybody know I am a low maintenance friend. Go ahead, Brittany.
she lying, y'all. Let me tell y'all how. No,
Don't lie.
she is very low maintenance. But you do have people, and like I said, I'm here to put myself out there, right? I was that person. I would get hurt, like my feelings hurt if my friend didn't show up for me. And then it made me question, like, so then why are you here? But now, what matters the most to me is understanding life is lifing, right? Life is lifing for everybody. I don't care what your tax bracket is. Life is lifing for everyone. It ain't discriminating, right? But if I understand that, and I also understand no matter what that you got my back, what would really matter the most is if you can't show up for me, the conversation that we have. I've had so many people who even text and reached out to me, with the first episode, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I couldn't even be on. I had da 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 going on. I'm like, listen, I'm so appreciative that you even reached out to think that much of me to say those things. Whether you showed up, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to show up because y'all just gonna be on my YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. However,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? But I understand that you can't show up, but it goes back to that communication. We gonna have to talk about it. If that also shows the value that I am to you. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Now, I learned a fun fact. So the average female friendship lasts 16 years, which is 6 years longer than your average relationship.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I
That's
thought women
wild.
were just like catty, women were just catty. We don't know how to keep friends. But I thought
I
that was
mean,
pretty interesting.
I feel like 16 years ain't enough. People be married for 40.
But do they be
That's the
friends?
type
Do
of,
you think it's because of a friendship that they're married that long?
yeah, I do. I feel like when you marry your friend,
Mm,
again, let's talk about it. You see how you're growing and going through changes.
right.
I am married.
Yes. Shout out.
I've been
9919. He say
I've
where you
been
at?
I've been with my wife since 2016.
Yep.
We have 2 kids,
Yep.
and we were in our 20s when we started, dating, and we're now in our 30s. And just like how you had to evolve and change, and I had to do the same, that's what happens in
Right.
those marriages, in those relationships. Let's not even use
Mhm.
marriage, because some people don't want to be married, but they'll be together for 40 years. You know what I mean? So let's,
Because of the
I
friendship.
respect everybody's.
Because of the
Yeah, of
friendship.
course,
Yeah.
of
So then
course, of
title,
course.
then that type, that'll be I don't want to go too deep on the marriage
Okay,
topic, and then
right?
be married neither. But you have some, I speak for both sides.
Yeah,
Because you do have some people that feel like marriage is a title. But I do
that's
think
what
the importance is the friendship, because you have some people who can be partners
I call her,
and
my
do this
life
life
partner.
sentence together. Yes.
I
Yes.
call her my life partner. I don't just call
Can I
her
can I
my.
share this? Because we keep
Yeah,
it real here. Just get a little, share. One thing I love about your marriage that has taught me was you were like, y'all don't go to bed mad.
no,
And for us to be in our 20s at the time and you made that type of commitment, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would I want to not talk to my friend?
yeah,
It's some friends I gotta call on the phone before I go to bed. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So why not for you to display that again? It's teaching me. So I know when God sent me, my man, so I could be on TikTok talking about my man.
And we
Y'all
also
stay,
don't
y'all
sleep
stay tuned for
in
that episode.
we don't sleep in separate rooms or anything, even if there's a situation going on. So that's that commitment there during the tough time. And that's
Correct.
what it is. And that's a part of the friendship. If it's
Mm,
just based off of me just loving you and being attracted to you, and those things fall off.
mm-hmm,
You know how I was. Them things was
mm-hmm.
falling off. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? This is the first woman that you actually see me, you know, take
Mm-hmm.
serious and make certain changes. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it came from the friendship.
Right.
I was able to be intimate within that friendship, which helped to unlock a different part, which brought it to a romantic intimacy.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm
So
with you. I'm with
we
you on
just
that.
were able to reach to that part of it. But the thing that makes her and I, the foundation of her and I, is friendship.
Wow.
Because if we weren't friends first, I don't know if we'd be able to give the grace that we give each other. Because we do give our friends a lot of grace. We give our friends a lot of grace, especially me,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
love my friends. You know what I
Now I
mean? They
have
are my family.
and I have Valerie in the chat. She said someone she thought was a good friend of 30 plus years. How about they
Ooh,
backed out of her wedding via text? Let me tell you something.
ooh.
Crystal, you back out my wedding
I
via
can't
text?
even back out. I gotta come there on a crutches and everything. I know you would be okay but I understand.
Long as you there. You know what I'm saying? But to back out through
And I wouldn't. Yeah, that's
through
tough.
text, that's
How much?
heavy.
How
That's
many
heavy.
years?
She said 30 plus.
Oh, that's crazy.
30
That's
plus.
what
We
I.
going on
But
30 plus.
do you see what I mean when
But
I
then that
talk
goes back to
about
how do you value? How do you value this
and
person when you do it through
communication?
text?
Communication. I would have called you B. Yo, such and such and such and such is going on, and I know you probably would have raised hell. And depending on what it is,
Because
and
that's what we
that's what
do.
I'm saying, it got to be super important. You know what I mean? And I do feel that way. It has to be super important as to why I can't
Absolutely.
show up for you. And super important doesn't deserve a text, but that's my personal
Right.
feeling.
Valerie
You
said
see
she
what I'm
never
saying?
spoke to her again. Hello.
Oh,
Hello. What that song say? If you want to leave, go ahead and walk out the door. Mhm. That's because what we
whew.
had to talk about.
So
Now,
let me
now we're
ask you this,
all
Valerie. Wait, I want to ask Valerie a
okay.
question.
Wait, so
Did you
before you
text?
ask the question, I think everybody in the chat got a question for Valerie because we all want to know this, Val. Why? Why did she back out? What was the reason? Although we
Yeah, I
know
was
the
about to
reason
ask that.
really, does the reason really matter after you done sent me a text? Because I think I would be more upset about the
Yes,
text than
yes.
I would
Wait,
the
no,
reason.
yeah. I think the reason does matter.
Okay. Simone say you better be dead. Held
Oh,
up,
okay.
emergency, or I'm coming for your head. Valerie said she just decided she didn't want to be involved. Hey,
What?
see me after the reception. See me after the reception. So we
What does that mean? So, Valerie, my question that I wanted to ask you is, after the text, did you not have a conversation with her? Or did you guys revisit this and have a conversation about it?
that's a hell no for me. Cause what? You
Yes,
just
I
ain't
would have
want to be
had
in
a,
my wedding?
I, so what did Valerie say? She
We
just didn't
still
want to be in
waiting.
the wedding. Oh,
Valerie's still talking. She's still typing. We gotta give her
okay.
a chance.
I was just saying, is it that
Look,
she
Keisha
just
talking
didn't?
about fight me. We gonna
Oh,
knock
yeah.
the text. Novi said, shout out to Novi. What's up, Novi? Novi said she was probably embarrassed or something. Oh, Val said it was no conversation. Because this is me. What do you have we ain't no conversation. Hey, see me after the reception?
So,
Oh,
hear me. I don't, so that's what I was
the Lord's
saying.
still working on me, y'all.
She just left it at, I don't want to be in your wedding. Like, just, that's it.
Through text.
I just don't want to be in your wedding.
Through text. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, this somebody you talk to like often,
They
often?
was friends 30 plus years. Do it matter how
You know,
if we
but you
talk every
see,
day?
so, you know,
Okay, let
not
me.
necessarily.
I should have
Not
had something else,
necessarily.
but besides water, y'all.
Wow, that's wild.
But see, that takes me looking back. Did you see any red flags leading up to this? That's a great question too.
Because I'm trying to, it's not making sense for me. Like, you, my friend of 30 plus years. So when I'm thinking about that, remember, I'm thinking about the friendships that I have. So that's what I'm
Right.
reflecting on.
That's
And
true. That's true.
I talk to my friends. So at
Right.
some point during some type of conversation, that we have the millions of conversations, I would hope that you would have said, "Hey, I'm not feeling this wedding."
Oh wow. So okay, let me give you a little backstory of Valerie. So
Okay,
she's an author. She write books. And she said
okay.
they did talk quite often. And she said she was actually said friend, was actually one of the people she dedicated her book to.
Oh shit. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
see me after the reception?
Don't worry about it,
I,
Valerie. Thank you so much for your
I
input.
still stand on what I said. You
Thank you so much.
yeah.
Jesus.
Wow. Robin said, I've learned that some things just don't mix with friendship. I lost my best friend after more than 30 years of friendship over my house. She rented my house with the understanding that I'm going to need to move back in at some point. She had 3 months of notice and still hadn't moved out. When I needed to move back in, I haven't talked to her in almost 10 years. Friendship and money, business don't mix. That's a heavy hitter. That's a heavy hitter. Friendship
Oh.
and money and business.
Oh.
So I will say this.
Mm.
For those who don't know and who know, I have a dog, Cairo, that I got from Crystal. And Crystal
Oh, hey,
sold
Wowo.
her dog.
Hey,
Wow.
Wowo.
Crystal sold her dog for X amount of dollars. And when people who know our friend know that we're best friends or even just friends in general, and I told them the dollar amount, they was like, your best friend charged you that? Ain't no family discount? Now the business topic gonna be a little later on. However, I do think that there are if that's her price is her price.
And I respect that about Brit. Let me say that. Brittany, I will try to, even lowball Brittany with, the things that I make my clothing. And Brittany wants to pay what everybody else is paying, and because she wants to support me. And when I look at it, I respect it so much more. And it makes me respect my business so much more, because She looks at it like, if I'm going out to Nike and I'm spending X, Y, and Z, and I don't know Nike from a can of paint, but I know you, and I know Nike living fine, and you trying to get somewhere, why wouldn't I give you that same amount of respect? And that definitely changed my outlook on me wanting to give that whole, you know, you my friend, da 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 da. Now, mind you, of
and then
course,
why have that expectation that as your friend? Because you know, if you understand business and you support your dog, your friend, you know, your lover, whoever, if you really support this person, like she just said, I'm gonna go out and pay $35 for a Nike shirt. Why not put that money into her business and pay a little extra? We ain't gonna, you
but
know, that whole
but you know where I told you,
supporting businesses is another topic. But however, when you talk about the mixing friendship and money and business, money can get money. That's a sensitive subject for any relationship.
yeah,
It doesn't have to be, in my opinion. I don't think it has to
it
be.
doesn't have to be, but that's when the respect come in. Like, respect is really big in any relationship that we have, right?
Absolutely.
If you don't respect the person that you're doing business with, then more than likely, yeah, it's gonna ruin a friendship. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I don't necessarily feel like, so I've experienced a lot of my classmates that I'm seeing now doing big things around Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Um,
Shots out.
they're actually friends from high school. They did
Oh
business
wow.
together because you can't do it by yourself. I want that to be known.
And
Like,
it's
there's
enough
certain
out here
things,
for everybody.
everybody. What it is jealousy, but we won't get into that.
Ooh.
Either way,
Hello. Y'all heard
yeah,
that?
we won't
What?
get into that.
Run that back is what?
You don't want to give your homegirl $35, but you want to give Mr. Nike $35.
I don't
I
want to
tell
see you
you,
get to that
but
next level.
woo! But if I make it, you make it. But we won't talk about that. Either way, they did business together. They're males, by the way. Let me say this: these are not females, so I don't know if
Okay.
that even matters. These are males, though.
Okay. I think it matters either way.
Yeah,
In my
yeah.
opinion, again, this is just my opinion.
You know how women are, though. Males seem to get business done better than women sometimes. I don't know if that's that emotional thing I talk about, but we
So
won't
talk
go
about
there.
that. With emotional, you think women are more emotional than men?
Yep, they add a lot of their feelings in business, and that's where it comes in. Like, I think her best friend felt like we best friends, so if I'm still here and you're moving, then what's the problem? And there's a problem there because there's a lack of respect when it comes to that business portion of what me and you have, right?
Correct.
So I've seen people do business together and they're doing phenomenal. So I
Right.
feel like if you guys are on the same page and you both want to win and there is love there, because I do feel like you can be great business partners with your friends if you have that respect. I do believe that. You
Okay.
can mix them if there is respect there, because I don't trust strangers, Brittany. You know that. So I'm never gonna let a stranger in my game
But
room.
do you feel like, because I'm with you now. I'm with you when you're talking about support and when you're in business with your friend.
Mhm.
Do you feel like, because we did express about the feelings, right?
Yep. Mhm.
And the boundaries.
Mhm.
Do you feel like it goes back to the expectations and I don't know, because it's still feelings for me is just like how people say no is a sentence, so is feelings. If you leading with your feelings first, we ain't gonna get nowhere anyways. Whether we're talking about a business, our friendship, relationship, like if
Factual.
you are leading with feelings, I think it's a time and a place for feelings.
Facts. I do
Yeah.
too. And in that situation, that didn't call for feelings. And the same way, when it comes to even my business, it didn't call for feelings with you. It's business. It's black and white to you. The price is
Yeah.
the price, and the price is what it is. You know what I mean? So for me, it's
And
black
then
and
what they
white.
say too, if and even if we talking about tomorrow, your price is different, I'm still pay the difference because
Paid
I'm
it
supporting you.
exactly.
Right. So I think
Exactly.
that's the little
So I do
friendship and
again.
business may not. that may be a little rough.
Again, that's why I think it's so important that you have that intimate relationship with your friend.
Do you feel like that
Because
opens the gateway for a healthy conversation? Because
absolutely,
the
because
intimacy is a safe space. I think if
I don't mean to,
anybody's in a safe
I don't
space,
mean to, yeah, I don't mean to cuss, but bitch, you know better. Because at
we
the end of the
cussing here.
day,
We gonna slide it
oh,
in there.
okay.
It's some seasoning, honey. I wish I had some horns, because there it go.
You know better. Like, you know who I am and I know who you are. So we know we can't play
Right,
them kind of games. You understand
right,
what I'm saying? That's
right.
when I say intimacy. Because that means you know me to the core. Like, you know, them kind of games gonna get you messed up. Mom on here?
Look, she ain't on here, but she gonna watch this recording. Hey, mom, love you.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know that shit gonna
It's
get you
Keisha
fucked
talking
up.
about you like the curse though. But we gonna leave that right now.
Okay, Keisha, shut. But
Now, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
nah, but I'm saying, like, that's what we're talking about. Like, for instance, we'll use me, you, and Keisha. We know not to play them kind of games. I can guarantee you, if me, you, and Keisha went into business, we gonna have a contract. It's black and white. There's no need for our relationship to go through anything
Look,
because
Wally talking about slide it on in that cursing.
I'm
Hey,
just
shout out to
saying,
Wally. Wally on.
you feel me? Like, it's black and white. And I think
Yeah,
that when you do, that's why you say mixing friendship with business. It's not a mix. We're friends and we're doing business together. There's no mix. And here's the black and white. You and
it
I
should just it
obviously
should flow. It should be a flow.
right. You and I obviously sat down together in order for it to be black and white and for us to sign off on it. Because we're not doing business without that. That's where the confusion lies. We're not doing business
Right,
off a handshake, baby. Because we don't
right.
want no feelings to get stirred up in this. We just
That's
want
what I'm talking
facts.
about.
We
Facts,
just want the facts
facts.
about this business and what it's going to be and what the percentage is going to be and how this is going to work. And that's what it is.
And
If
Robin
you
said that was a
sign,
lesson. She said that was a lesson for her with her
mm,
friendship. She said it forced me to roll the tape in our friendship, and I really saw that we never really were friends in the first place.
oh,
That's
Jesus.
tough. That's tough. That's tough. Right? No, be black and white and sign on the dotted line. It's
Period.
business. You got to
It's
take the
business.
feeling. Come on out your feelings. We leaving the egos at the door. Like you said, we understand. We know how it rolls. So with because that's more on the negative end of the spectrum. We on the high side, right? High side of
Mm-hmm.
things. But I don't know if this could be negative. It could be high on the high side. So to the point where we talk about business and stuff, and when it's time to walk away, how do you know when it is time to leave your friend? How do you know when it's time to walk away?
To be honest with you, I don't think that I have ever walked away from a friendship. So that's a hard question for me because, you know, when I commit, I commit. So
If we lock in,
that's hard. I feel like people have walked away from me due to me standing my ground.
ooh.
You know what I mean? And I had
But
to
then
be okay
that's
with that.
questionable. Like, doesn't that like don't you question that person? Like, how we're friends.
There's nothing
We're
to,
friends. Why
I
are you
mean,
walking away? Why are we not talking about it?
now, I mean, in
But
the
this
space
not for
that
you to answer it, but that would be my thought process because of how I value people now. Especially the ones I dropped that friend word on. Why we couldn't talk about it? Now I got questions. Now I'm sitting here in my head like, were you really my friend from the beginning? Or look, what could I have done better? Like we just talked about in the chat, you got to, take accountability, be a better friend to the next person.
facts, that's a tough one. That honestly is a tough one. I think that I just have not experienced a friendship where I felt like, well, a friendship that I should say is dead, that I felt like should have been dead. I felt like it just needed a simple conversation. but
Right.
people don't want to talk. Like, and I get it, people sometimes have to sit with their feelings, but sometimes people have the wrong impression. If you are sitting with feelings and you haven't really communicated that, then you don't even know how the other person is feeling.
Correct.
Usually in situations, it's something else in you, right?
Mm.
There's no situation by yourself. It's always something that you're battling with. So if it's a friendship and you feel like, for instance, if you feel like I've done something to you, you can sit with it, but how long are you going to sit with it before you have
I'm
a
not saying it with
conversation?
it too. I'm with you. I'm not.
That's
But that's
right.
my
And
relationship with you. You get what I'm saying? Like,
that's how I want it with all my friendships. You understand what I'm
oh,
saying? Because this is who I am. So I've realized that sometimes people don't end up having these conversations. And for instance, one of the friendships I told you about, that should have never been
a simple.
fall to the wayside for that. But then I knew the value that I had in her life. So that
Right.
just made me, I didn't have to ask a question at that point because you're already showing me.
Correct.
You're removing me
Correct.
from social media. You're doing all of this before you even know that I'm about to show up for you because I
Now,
see how much it affected you.
I'm sorry. I don't know if you in the chat, but they dropping some gems
No,
in this chat. Robin said she's learned to categorize her friends. You have your core, crowd, and community.
ooh, I like that, Rob.
Leslie said it's
So,
just time to move on. You just know when it's
so,
time.
so is community your associates?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You got Keisha say sometimes it just happened. It don't even be a walk away situation. You'll just branch off in different directions. But I think that would be more so like growing apart.
Yeah. And I don't have any friendships that just grew apart, if that makes sense. So, you know how I say how some friends can go weeks without talking to each other, maybe even months, but they're still friends. It's just that they may have really busy lives. They have kids, so
Mhm.
they might check in here and there, but nothing really, like linking up or doing any of that or
Right.
having long conversations. Um, I feel like, hmm, boy, oh boy, I just,
See, I'm with Simone on this one. It's the core for me. Like, that's it. It's only core. I don't have a crowd. I don't have a community. Y'all know I don't even have a lot of friends. I really
we
don't.
know, we know Brittany.
I don't
We know Brittany. We
I
know.
I it
We know.
is not being overprotective. Yes, it is being overprotective of myself now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because in order for you, again, I set boundaries for myself and I own it and I can stand in it. Like, in order for you to have
Absolutely.
access to me, it comes with the values that you could bring, the morale, the integrity. You know what I'm saying? The confidence. You got to have a confidence. And I'm not just talking about your appearance when we talk about confidence, but the
Mm.
confidence to have that conversation to hold me accountable.
Absolutely. And you know how I feel about accountability. I feel like accountability is a self thing. So when Brittany say I hold her accountable, no, I cuss her ass out. It's not that I hold her
Oh, she
accountable.
slid another one in, y'all. That's two. That's two.
Okay,
She
sorry.
over here cursing. He say she over here cursing, but she do.
I
She do. She holds me accountable, and the conversation looks different. And I'll shout out to her too. Keisha does
shout out
hold
Keisha.
me accountable as well. Both of them. Both of them. Let's talk about it, right? Some people, everybody talks differently. Their language is different. Some people curse a little. Some people don't. When you need to get your point across to me, and my heavy hitters know this, they cuss me out. It ain't no sugarcoating stuff and cherries and rainbows. It's we getting raw. And I'm gonna call out one person on here today. Wiley did this to me just last week. Not too much of the cursing, however, because it is, you still could say and have a conversation how you need to. The voice elevated, but the message was still received. Because when you know the people that it's coming from, you hear differently. You get what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here worried about, well, dang, she over here cursing at me. Why? No, you're not worried about that. What What's the lesson? But you know what? All right, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Or I'm in my feelings. Okay. Or no, I'm standing on that, and we gonna have a back and forth. I'm cuss you out too. You gonna get to me cuss words in on me, and I ain't slide one in. But that that goes to having that that type of friendship, but knowing your friends. You get what I'm saying? I don't talk to everybody, of course, the same, but it doesn't
Yeah,
mean that the message is still not received.
yeah,
If that makes sense.
yeah. And I just feel like I feel like you have to be intentional with your friends too, right?
Oh,
So that's another thing. It's just like how you are in your romantic relationships. You're intentional about what you want. You want you want a husband, or you want the wife, and then you want the kids, and then you want the house, and then you want. So now you're building towards these things. You should still have the same intent with your friendships. No, you're not building towards that house and you're
I'm
not joining.
Crystal.
What girl?
He stay in here talking about. I call her a bitch a lot.
Hey, Keisha, you can't mute her. Keisha.
How do you? Can we mute somebody out the chat? Because,
Oh
but y'all,
man.
she do, and it don't hurt my feelings because I know it be out of love. But I'm sorry. Hey,
Okay.
y'all showing out in the chat today. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. How many people in here with us?
We got
Can you
about
see?
10. They rocking with
That's
us.
good.
They over here. This friendship is heavy. Look, shout
Yeah.
out to my sister, y'all. We got Lex in the building. Lex say my best friend lives in Japan, and we make it a point to schedule check-ins.
I
Ooh.
love that. But that's why I said
Because wait a minute.
intentional.
Because wait, now Lex done shifted it a little bit. How hard is it now as adults to have healthy friendships?
It's
Because
tough.
when you talk about being intentional now, watch this. To Lex's point, we got to put it on our schedule. Because some people say if it ain't on the calendar, it don't exist. It doesn't mean that I don't care, but I do
Yeah.
care enough to put you on this calendar because I'm a mom. I still have to work 8 hours a day. If I'm
Mhm.
married and with my partner, I still got to do that. I still got to look how I look when I be looking how I look. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you. We all wear different hats, so we got to keep up with life. But if you
Yeah.
are, to your point, intentional and you're scheduling these meetups and things like that, it works. But
Yeah.
that goes back to the value that you have with not only your friend but within self, because I want to be this person, to
But
this valuable person.
that's why I think I appreciate our group FaceTimes, me, you, and Keisha in the
Yeah,
mornings
for
when we
sure.
can get them in, because we
Yeah,
all have children.
absolutely.
We all have different relationships that we're dealing with. We
Right.
all have work. You know what I mean? And sometimes we catching each other at work. We'll be
And
on
I ain't gonna lie
FaceTime
to
and
you.
all of us
I
at
don't
work.
look. I don't be wanting to talk after I pay bills. My feelings be hurt.
Right. For
Give
real.
me a second. Let me digest that my light bill $145. Why?
Right.
I'm in a one bedroom.
But yeah, I appreciate the fact that we could do those things. And then
Absolutely.
it's kind of like when we don't hear from each other in a little bit, a couple days rolling by, somebody in the fucking group like, yo,
Yeah.
hello, what's up? Let's see some faces. What's going on?
Keisha ain't
Let's
gonna
do
come
our
on
little check.
calling us all type of bees in the morning. She don't say good
Right,
morning, y'all. She gonna say, "B, where you at? Like, why I ain't heard
right.
from you?"
Yeah, So,
Look, and she put it in the chat. If we don't if we don't talk the next day, I'm cursing them out.
right.
And
So
Lex
we
made a
have
good
to,
point. That's different time zone. She say her best friend in Japan. I don't know the
right.
time zone in Japan, but I know some people in the same time zone struggle with that. But it goes back to, like you
Absolutely.
said, being intentional. You make time. Yes, Robin, you make time for people you want to make time for.
Yeah.
That's that without a doubt, across the board. Across the
And it's
board. That's
even if Britt and I get it in, or even Keisha, and we bring Keisha in this all the time because we the three stooges, technically. The three musketeers, I'm Peter Pan and they're the Lost Boys. So
wow.
you too, Cupcake.
Wow.
Um but I feel like even if it's 10 minutes that we get of each other,
Yeah.
we know that we're good. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we checked in, you know, everybody has their life is lifing. So sometimes we
And I
can't
love
sit
that
on
we
the
do
phone
it.
all day.
But I love that we do it because I see Novi was like, she gonna text her love. Yeah, Novi, she say we the lost boys. I ain't look. We said sign on a dotted line. I ain't signed nothing for that. But what I also appreciate is that we all have iPhones, so we could FaceTime. So it ain't like we could lie through text. Hey, how you doing? I ain't gonna call
Yeah.
this person out on this live right now, but I ask how are you, and I get a eh. They don't have an iPhone, so I can't just boop, FaceTime you, and because I need to see you. I need to lock eyes. I need to feel the energy, to know that you are okay and you're not just lying to me. So I think that's Lex say she loved you, Cupcake. I
Oh,
think
Cupcake, I love
I
you
think
too.
this topic overall for me was truly important because it was something that I set with, as I said, again, I'm here to share my journey, to take y'all through where I was before, so you understand the woman, that's here and talking to y'all in the ladies' lounge. And the topic of friendship was so, and I'm telling y'all, when I say life was life and the closer we got to this topic, I was like, I know this was nothing but God to pick this, to pick the right person to like I said earlier, just drop some nuggets. And it's important, especially now when we are not trying, because we're very intentional people, right? I think it's so important to be intentional when you are choosing your friends and choose them wisely. And know also too, how we write down, if for us that's single, shout out to the single people in the chat, we write down or we dream about how we want our partners to look, the behavior that we want. But I also tell everybody, be that same energy that you want to receive, right? Why don't we write down how we want our friendship to look? What do we want our next friend? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I be a better friend? What did I learn to losing people? I done lost some people, not by choice. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I do believe that the universe don't make any mistakes. It hurts. I've lost some people that really, and I'm not talking about death wise, they're still walking this earth, but I've lost some people that I thought was of value to me because I give flowers, right? I'm not the woman that I am today because you played a role. We wrote you in the script in my movie. You get what I'm saying, of my life experience. So you were valued. So I thought this topic was so important because I sat down and I was just like, I know I wasn't a good friend. I know I
You
wasn't, but
you
I'm a
doing
better
good.
friend. I'm a,
You
I'm a
doing too
better
much.
friend.
You doing there's situational things, right? Because I
Mhm.
feel like you a person is who they is, right? Who they is. What, Crystal? Who they are.
One thing for us to cuss on here, but that,
What?
hey, that was a little bit.
Woo! Oh,
It's Robin talking about
that's
single as a Pringle. I love me some Robin.
it's me being tired. Um, but people are who they are, right? If I didn't feel like you were a good person, then I would not have stuck with you. And that's
Mm,
the value in you, right? So
right,
obviously I knew that there was more there that you could give, and you just needed to get to that space. And I knew that you would get to that space. I had faith that you would get to that space because I knew that as a person, you're a good person. It's just like
right,
you said, environment may have taught you different things. So you may not have handled things the best way, but you weren't a terrible person. I don't want you to have that narrative or a terrible friend, because she was far from a terrible friend. If it was that, then there wouldn't have been a relationship. We just had
and I
situations
appreciate
where,
hearing that.
yeah, we just had
Yeah,
situations where where I felt like she didn't put her best foot forward. That's it. You know what I mean? So it had nothing to do with that. You just needed to be able to learn certain things, and so did I. I've been able to grow from this
correct,
relationship as well. I'm not perfect, right?
correct,
Because I needed to learn some things as well. So we both were able to give and take in this situation.
correct. So
Okay.
I'm gonna thank you again for taking time out of your day to come talk to me in the ladies lounge. As always, thank you all in the chat. I love y'all. Thank you for rocking with us tonight and being engaging, sharing, dropping some nuggets on us, sharing y'all stories.
Right.
We definitely we here to stay, in the ladies lounge. I love that. Self elevation is key, Leslie. Absolutely. Um, I'm here for it. I appreciate you. I appreciate just you as being my best friend. I say one of my heavy hitters because the other one, she gonna come on at a later date. But I appreciate the lessons that was learned to for me to be the woman that I am today because I, I'm gonna say it here in the ladies lounge. My relationship with Chris Butter has helped me to mold to be the person that I am in each one of you lives that's on this, chat right now. Because you wouldn't even be on if I wasn't the person that I am. And Crystal she played a role in that. And I'm forever grateful. So as always, y'all, I pray that you all took something from this that you can use going forward in your friendships that you already have to solidify them, to elevate each other. And, just for the friends that God has for you to, for your future. As always, thank you for rocking in the ladies lounge. I will see you next Wednesday. Until then, have a blessed week on purpose. I love y'all.